What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a Let's Talk About the NFL edition live. The 2026 NFL season is almost here, and I'm going to do a breakdown of all 32 teams and their first 5 games of the season. This is Lincoln Lieber 1983, and this is Let's Talk About It, where I talk about sports, music, and movies. But this one here is all about the NFL. Let's get into it. My channel now has 610 subscribers with 1,780 videos and 402,675 views. Alright, starting with the AFC East, then the AFC North, the AFC South, and the AFC West. Alright, so that's the top half. The bottom half is the NFC West, the NFC North, NFC South, and NFC East. Alright, so let's get into it. AFC East, Buffalo Bills. First 5 games at the Texans. They're home for the Lions, they're home for the Chargers, home for the Patriots, and they're on the road against the Rams. Miami Dolphins, first 5 games. At home against the Raiders, at home against the 49ers, on the road against Kansas City, at home for the Vikings, and on the road against the Vikings, and at home against the Bengals. New England Patriots, on the road against Seattle, at home against Pittsburgh, on the road against Jacksonville, Buffalo, and their 5th game is against the Raiders at home. The New York Jets, first 5 games. On the road against the Raiders, on the road against the 49ers, at home for the Chiefs, on the road against the Vikings, and at home for the Bengals. AFC North, Baltimore Ravens, first 5 games. On the road against the Colts, on the road against the Saints. They play the Cowboys in Brazil. They're at home for the Titans, and they're on the road against the Falcons. Cincinnati Bengals, first 5 games. At home against Tampa Bay, on the road against the Texans, on the road against Pittsburgh, at home against Jacksonville, and on the road against the Dolphins. Cleveland Browns, first 5 games. On the road against Jacksonville, on the road against Tampa Bay. They play Carolina at home, they play Pittsburgh at home, and they play the Jets in New York. Pittsburgh Steelers, first 5 games. They play the Falcons at home, they play at the Patriots, they play the Bengals, they play at Cleveland, and they play the Indianapolis Colts. That's the Steelers' first 5 games. Alright, that's the AFC East and the AFC North. Now I'm doing the AFC South. The Houston Texans, first 5 games. They play the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, on the road against the Colts. They play the Cowboys at home, and they play at Tennessee. Indianapolis Colts, first 5 games. They play the Ravens at home. They play at Kansas City. They play the Texans at home, the Commanders at home, and they play at Pittsburgh. Jacksonville Jaguars, first 5 games. They play the Browns. They play at Baltimore. They play the Browns. They play at Denver. The Patriots, the Eagles, and the Texans are all at home. The Tennessee Titans, first 5 games. They play the Jets, the Eagles, the Giants in New York, the Ravens in Baltimore, and the Texans at home. AFC West, Denver Broncos, first 5 games. They play at the Chiefs. They play the Jaguars at home, the Rams at home, at San Francisco, and at the Chargers. The Kansas City Chiefs, first 5 games. They play the Broncos, the Colts, at Miami, at Las Vegas, and the Chargers is their 5th game. The Las Vegas Raiders, first 5 games. Las Vegas Raiders, first 5 games. They play the Dolphins, at the Chargers, at the Saints, the Chiefs, and the Patriots. The Los Angeles Chargers, first 5 games. They play the Cardinals, the Raiders, at Buffalo, at Seattle, and the Broncos. That's the AFC West, and that's the AFC division. All right, so now transitioning over to the NFC. All right, NFC South. The Falcons play at Pittsburgh, home against Carolina, at Green Bay, at New Orleans, and their 5th game is against the Ravens. The Carolina Panthers, first 5 games. They play the Bears first, at Atlanta, at Cleveland, at home against Detroit, and their 5th game is at the Eagles. The New Orleans Saints, first 5 games. At Detroit, at Baltimore, at home for the Raiders, at home for the Falcons, and at home for the Vikings. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, first 5 games. At Cincinnati, at Dallas, home against Cleveland, Minnesota, and Green Bay. That's the NFC South. NFC West goes like this. The Arizona Cardinals first 5 games. They play the Chargers, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Giants, and the Lions. The Los Angeles Rams first 5 games. They play the 49ers, the Giants, the Broncos, the Eagles, and the Bills. The San Francisco 49ers first 5 games. They played the Rams, the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Cardinals. No, yeah, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, the Broncos, and at Seattle. And the Seattle Seahawks first 5 games. They play the Patriots, at Arizona, at Washington, the Chargers, and the 49ers. That's the AFC South and the AFC West. Now I'm doing that. No, the NFC South and NFC West. All right, so this is the NFC North and the NFC East, and that'll be the last. That'll be the last of it. All right, so the NFC North first 5 games go like this. The Chicago Bears play at Carolina. They're at home for the Vikings, the Eagles, the Jets, and they play at Green Bay. The Detroit Lions first 5 games. They play at New Orleans, at Buffalo, and home against the Jets, on the road against Carolina, and on the road against Arizona. The Green Bay Packers first 5 games. They play at Minnesota, at New York Jets, at Tampa Bay, at home against the Falcons and the Bears. Minnesota Vikings first 5 games. They play at Green Bay. No, they're at home against Green Bay. They play at Chicago, at Tampa Bay, at home for Miami, and on the road against the Saints. All right, this is the last of it. The NFC East first 5 games. The Dallas Cowboys play at the Giants. They play the Commanders. They play the Ravens in Brazil, overseas, and they play at the Texans, and they're at home against the Buccaneers. The New York Giants first 5 games. They play at the Cowboys. They play at the Ravens. They play the Titans at home, the Cardinals at home, and they play at the Commanders. That's their first 5 games. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Commanders are my last 2 teams I'm doing. The first five games for the Eagles, they play the Commanders, at the Titans, at the Bears, the Rams, and the Jaguars. And last but not least, the Washington Commanders first 5 games. They play at the Eagles, at the Cowboys, Seattle, Indianapolis Colts, and the New York Giants. That is going to conclude this NFL Sports Live. Starting from the beginning, my channel has 610 subscribers, 1,780 videos, and 402,675 subscribers. No, 402,675 views. Continue to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.